guys, welcome to my channel. If you click today's video, it's because you want to know what the top drugstore concealers are. And I got your back because I got 5 amazing freaking, I got some damn good concealers to show you right now. And your girl has tried a drugstore concealer, and I've tried a bunch of high-end. So I know what's good and I know what's not. And I know right from wrong. And some of these concealers at the drugstore are wrong. And it's not okay. I've had some bad experiences with drugstore concealers, and I don't really want to talk about it. Because they did your girl wrong. So if you want to know my top picks, let's go. So let's start with my Ride or Die concealer. This bitch has been with me through thick and thin. She knows my heart. That is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This concealer right here, we've been through a lot together. She does me right. This is one of the first drugstore concealers that I tried that I was like, oh, okay, drugstore can do it. It's tricky at the drugstore. Not as much now, but back in the day, finding good stuff at the drugstore it was a struggle. The struggle was real. Real. This bad boy right here is just phenomenal. I love it. It performs like a high-end concealer. It's super creamy. It blends out like a dream. It sits on the skin very nicely. The thing I love most about this concealer is that not only does it have pretty good coverage, it's not the most full coverage concealer out there, but it does have nice coverage. What I love about it is it has such a natural look, and I love this for every day. I'm a working gal. I have a regular 9-to-5 job. So I need natural looking makeup. I don't want anything too harsh or too much. This has great staying power as well. It layers very nicely with foundation, or if you want to use a color corrector underneath, that also works very nicely with this concealer. This is just an all-around good concealer. It looks good under the eyes. You can also do some spot concealing. You can do some cream contour with this. So this concealer's finish is not matte. It's more on the luminous side, so it's got a bit of a dewy look to it. Oh, who dat? One thing to note about this concealer is because it has such a creamy formula, you really need to set this with a powder. If not, it's going to crease pretty bad. But once you do, you're good to go. Last throughout your day, Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. Okay, so the next concealer I want to talk about, I was super shocked that I love it this much. That is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. Now this concealer has more of a matte finish to it, but it's not drying, which I love, because like I said, I have very dry under eyes, and it's not too dry for me. It's got more coverage than the Maybelline Fit Me, medium to full, but not super full, like Tarte Shape Tape. Like I don't know what concealer has that much of full coverage besides the It Cosmetics Bybel Under Eye. Those two seriously have full coverage, but this has really nice coverage. It'll help to definitely mask your dark under eye circles if you have them. I suffer from dark under eye circles, and this does a pretty good job of covering them. This also layers very nicely with foundation. This is also a great everyday concealer if you're looking for something that's a little bit more matte or something that has a little bit more coverage. Has a pretty good shade range. Surprisingly enough, this concealer, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer, is my top concealer for not creasing as bad as other concealers. Like, no matter what, I'm gonna crease. That's just, for me, that's how it is. I actually have natural creases under my eyes, so there's no getting around it no matter what I do. But this one creases on me the least. We got a true winner. Next concealer is an oldie but a goodie, and that is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. Now, this concealer came out, and everybody was talking about it, and for good damn reason, because this concealer is so freaking good. Now, people talk about the top. It's got like a little spongy top, and you just twist it up and you apply it. Some people are bothered by the sponge top, but doesn't bother me. I'm not really sure why people are so bothered by a spongy top and using it on your face. They're worried about bacteria, but the truth of the matter is you're still using, even if you're using a wand, you're putting it on your face and putting it back in there. So regardless, you're gonna have bacteria in your products, but maybe because it's a sponge applicator that harbors, I don't even know, honestly. I'm not exactly sure, but aside from the packaging, this is such a good concealer. I love the way this looks on my skin. It just makes it almost look flawless. I mean, as flawless as my skin can be, This has a more satin finish. It also has really nice coverage, just like the Wet n Wild concealer. This has a lot of great shades. It also has a more neutral yellow tone one. It has like a more pink tone one, and it has your light, medium, dark shades as well to fit your skin tone. My shade is in the shade Light. This wears really nicely throughout the day. It doesn't wear off and look weird. One thing you want from a concealer is to definitely last throughout the day. You don't want to look in the mirror and start to see your imperfections showing through. I do not deal with that with this concealer. So it doesn't settle into any of your fine lines, and like I said, it just looks really, really nice and beautiful on your skin. I don't know, what more you can ask for on concealer. One thing I do like to do with this concealer is sometimes I'll use a totally different concealer to conceal under the eyes, and I'll use a lighter shade in this, and I'll use it to really highlight, and it really brightens up my face. This is really great for that. It's so good. I love it. All right, so my next concealer that I love so much is pretty new to me, but I've been using it basically every single day. I use this and the Tarte Shape Tape. I mix them together, and I got a fabulous cocktail. It is the L'Oreal Pro Glow Concealer. Now, Pro Glow Foundation is my all-time favorite holy grail drugstore foundation. It is amazing. When they came out with the concealer, your girl lost her shit, and I couldn't believe it. I had to have it, and here it is, and I love this concealer. Love it, love it. It's so good. This concealer blends out like a fairy tale. That doesn't even make sense. It blends out like a dream. It just blends out so flawlessly, so seamlessly. It's so creamy and so natural. It's actually a lot like the Maybelline Fit Me. They're actually very, very similar. But the L'Oreal Pro Glow, just to me, in my opinion, just looks better on my skin. But the Maybelline Fit Me has a little more coverage. So this one actually doesn't have a ton of coverage. It's more on the lighter side. But this is so great for no makeup days, and it's great for every day. That's actually why I mix it with the Tarte Shape Tape, because Tarte Shape Tape is so full coverage and it's a little bit of a thicker consistency. And when I use this and I mix it together, it's just like, the duo together is like magic. I still use this concealer alone. I love this to conceal in all your regular areas. It really brightens up the face. It also conceals pretty nicely considering it has less coverage. Definitely has a more luminous look. It really brings your skin to life. Look like you got that healthy, beautiful glow, and that's what I really, really love about this. I mean, it's Pro Glow. Pro Glow. Glow. I love L'Oreal. It's so good. It's so good. From what I noticed, the lightest shade in this concealer isn't the most lightest of light shades. So if you're like super pale, I'm not so sure you're gonna find a shade. I don't know if they got your back on that. I have mine in the shade 02 Creamy Natural. It's actually more the color of my skin tone. So this is also really super lightweight, super thin consistency, but also very creamy. So good. So good. Alright, so my next concealer, I love this concealer specifically for spot concealing. It's also wonderful for, like, say, your under eyes and all that jazz, but I especially love it for concealing blemishes or any dark marks or anything that's showing through your foundation, anything you want to cover. And that is the Maybelline Master Conceal Concealer. And I don't know if you noticed, but most of my concealers are Maybelline. Shout out to Maybelline for making bomb-ass concealers. Super duper comparable to Kat Von D's Tattoo Concealer. It definitely has a fuller coverage look than any other concealers I have here. This is so great, like I said, for spot concealing, for covering up anything that you want concealed. You would expect with a more fuller coverage concealer that it might be a little thicker, but it's not at all. And this is also works really nicely under the eyes, especially if you want to conceal under eye circles. Sits very nicely under there. It's not too drying for me. It's got a more matte finish, but that's great for concealing blemishes and all that. You don't want a luminous blemish. This is the shade Light Medium. I specifically got Light Medium instead of like light. I wanted something closer to my skin tone so I can specifically spot conceal. This definitely has some great staying power. So another wonderful concealer from the drugstore. So there you have it. These are my top drugstore concealers. You cannot go wrong depending on your needs. Here is a concealer for you. They're definitely top notch. I definitely want to continue this series and keep on with the drugstore favorites. I really hope that these videos help you out in choosing something from the drugstore. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I will put the icon right up here so you can just click it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!